Minds will wander during the bye week, and due to my conversations today, we might have a couple things to worry about. Could West Virginia lose some players besides the one that are already gone? Sounds like maybe. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers on the football side of things today, baby. Appreciate you guys for being here for another episode as we dive into an off-week branded episode that I really didn't want to do. This episode is going to be brought to you by FanDuel. With FanDuel, it's pretty simple. New customers can bet $5. It'll make you holler. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the FanDuel app today to get started, but I'm not alone. I'm actually here with somebody very important. Marshall, offensive coordinator Jackson Johnson.
How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just one question. Do these bonus bets turn into this?
That's it. That's what they turn into, for sure. Jackson, you've been the offensive coordinator at South Carolina, Clemson, all these places so far, haven't you?
I guess
in all seriousness.
I'm everywhere.
In all seriousness, though. So over this weekend, I decided to just kind of get a feel, put the feelers out to see what's going on within the program. And I've had a few conversations like Jaheim White. Obviously he's doing well, has getting that quad fixed and such. So like he's in good spirits, it seems. There's been other guys. So, obviously West Virginia, let me start here. We think we've lost Nico Marchiol, although that's not 100% confirmed, right? Devontae Gold-Nelson has decided this isn't for him. We've got Oron Singleton, who I was really high on, saying, hey, this isn't for me. He was in the rotation. And I've talked to some other players that they thought they were going to play, obviously. And I think the frustration is some of these guys are – I can't say names, obviously, but some of these guys are seniors. And – they haven't played a lick of football, right? So it's their last year, and it feels like it's being wasted. And so why not just redshirt and move on? It's a tough conversation to have because I'm like, just stick it out, just do this. It's not like I would ever try to convince a player to leave the program. At the same time, I mean, if you're going to redshirt and come back to this program, sure. Like that was my advice, like, hey, look, I get it. You may want a red shirt and go somewhere else, but there's no need to do that. You may as well stay in one place, red shirt, if that's what you got, if that's the option you have. I don't even know if some of these guys have red shirts, right? So, I'm just making a general case here for the conversation I had. And this person knows of other players that feel the same, not all seniors. So I think, from what I was told by a couple guys, and listen, this is a one-off or two-off conversation. This is a two-off conversation, technically. So the vast majority of the team seems motivated and focused on the bye week, but doesn't mean that these guys aren't either. It's just that they're also feeling this way while putting the work in at the same time. I think that's natural to feel that way. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like I was trying to figure out, like, what do I say here? Because, you get to be friendly with some of these people. I wouldn't say they would want – I'm 40, right? So it's like I get it, like the age difference and all. Like we're not buddies. Like, but like, are we friendly? Have we known each other for a couple years in some cases? Yeah, we have. So it's a situation where trying to have their best interest and be unbiased with them, but also remembering this is West Virginia, and I think some of these guys can really help us at some point. So it's really frustrating to juggle these duties, like whenever you're trying to, in my situation like this, and this thing was birthed out of conversations, or I mean, conversations, congratulations. This person reached out to me to say, hey, congratulations, man. I saw that you had a great week, on your shows and stuff. And, so that led to me kind of eventually we directed the conversation back to, okay, but how are you doing? And he was frustrated, like I get it. I totally get it. Like I just wish I could say more about what we said, but it would give it away. But the fact that there are other guys that feel the same way worries me a little bit. This team can't afford these losses. We're already in a situation next year where, and I'm not saying they're going to happen, guys. I'm saying they could, right? Obviously, there's some unrest. These people are openly telling a guy that's in the media about this, or well, I don't really consider myself in the media as much, but I mean, I basically am. I have to accept it. Because I mean, obviously, I'm not going to betray that trust, but at this, it's just if you look at West Virginia's scholarship situation, it's dicey. Like we're talking already 40, maybe 50 guys next year. And each player that could potentially leave that's not already a senior anyway adds to that, right? And the thing is like we've lost players at certain positions. So, it's like balancing like, okay, I get it, dude. Like we're already halfway through the year. We would have to win out to have a successful season, or at least, maybe lose one or two down the stretch at most to have a good season where everybody would feel good about next year. Trying to tell these dudes like, hey, you've got a role in this team in the second half of the year. There's going to be a role for you. People are worn down. They really needed this bye week. Certain position groups are just beat up. So I think trying to convince these guys to, well, this person specifically in this case, and listening to him talk about the other guys, it's a tight rope to walk, Jackson. So what was
juggling everything all at once?
Yeah, what would you do in my situation?
Same thing you're doing.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Like you want to have their best interest, but I'm also probably more of a West Virginia fan than anything, right? So it's like, how do I not tell this dude what he needs to hear to stay? And not that he's going to do anything I say anyways, but I mean, obviously he's asking me for a reason. He's taking into consideration what people are saying. I don't know. But next year, I mean, if you look at the scholarship overhang, we've got 112 spots allocated. That's returning players and commitments exceeding the NCAA max of 105 by 7 as of right now. That, obviously that's not counting the additional transfers out, medical disqualifications, or NFL departures that will trim the roster next year. We've got 27 high school commits locked in, obviously, which bolsters some depth. We've lost Oron Singleton, Devontae Golden Nelson, likely Nico Marchiolo. That's not 100% confirmed. So, we're thin on starters at quarterback. I think the running back room it's got some versatility because Jaheim White will be back next week. Sir Paul Cheeks is coming in. So, like, I feel pretty good about that room next year. If you look at wide receiver, that's crowded there, right? You've got a guy like Jaden Bray that'll be back again next year off surgery 2 years in a row. Will he stay? Will he go? You've got guys like Rodney Gallagher that also could be returning, right? Tight end room, Noah Braham. There's not a whole lot else going on there except for we got a freshman that hasn't played a lot at the North Carolina transfer. Offensive line is a total misfire, and I kind of question what we have. Like obviously Landon Livingston, maybe Donovan Haslam. We don't know. Malik Agbo, if he gains the weight, can he be a guy? Obviously you look over at the left side and you say, okay, Nick Cray may be a piece you can build with on the future, but at least the guard spots at the very least are going to be replaced, and likely more if you want an elite offensive line. it may be an entire restart up there unless you've got guys like Robbie Martin that really come into their own in the offseason or something like that. But we don't know those answers. So the offensive line is like it's still at ground zero unless you can somehow make Livingston and Craig work along with Agbo coming in next year. So that's one thing. Then you got the defensive line, and you got a Sonny Redwood that should be returning. Nate Gabriel should return. So it's not a complete wash there, and there are other guys that'll be in the mix. I'm just picking a couple of guys out of each position group. If you look at bandit / edge and hybrids, you've got 5 there. You got 3 returnees and 2 commits. Marshawn Oxley should come back, but he's not exactly an elite player, right? So nothing there. What about linebacker? Well, you've got like Miles Cottrey. You've got guys like Ben Bogle that can maybe provide some leadership there next year. You've got a guy like Torber that I love to come in out of high school ranks. So there are pieces here and there coming back. A lot of them young, no experience. And then corner is going to get hit hard. And the thing is, all 11 starters on defense are seniors. So, while there are a few guys that play a lot, there's a lot that are going to be gone, right? Especially Coates, who we just wish we could just – if I was Richrod, I would have considered redshirting him, but he's got NFL aspirations. I'm sure he doesn't want to stay another year. It's frustrating. Cornerbacks, obviously Keyshawn Robinson, could be back next year. But other than that, man, like you're restarting at the corner spot. You're restarting at the safety spot unless you go Caleb Gray, Zay Jennings, Aaron Edwards possibly. We just signed. And then you got 6 returners and specialists. But we can't afford to allow anybody out the door that's going to be returning next year specifically. And we really can't afford to lose any of the seniors that haven't played yet this year. There are a couple, because they could be called upon, and, a lot of them have a few. I mean, they played, but it's been sparingly. So I don't know, Jackson. I mean, it's a tough situation for the Mountaineers to be in. But when you look to the future, the future is bright, and we're going to talk about that next because we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it, the Rimbaker and what he's got going on. We've definitely discussed that at length, but I think to end this topic, we're going to talk about it a little more, and then we're going to dive into Jackson's world of college football after the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at Peloton. That's right. We're Pelotoning it up today, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. With Peloton, it's pretty simple stuff. They are elite at what they do, and they have been for a while, shaping the future of fitness with a brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by the Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs, tools that will keep you planned, motivated, help you reach your peak. I actually love the swivel screen because it's a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. Beat it. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. And, of course, we are here with Jackson Johnson, the foremost offensive mind in the country. Jackson, thanks for being on here today, brother.
Always, man. Thank you for having me on, good buddy.
You as well, man, and thanks for being patient while I got through that first segment.
No problem.
So, obviously, the future of West Virginia football is bright, Jackson. You've got, Rimbaker and company. They've added 140 scholarships. We've talked about this at length the last couple of days. It's worth bringing it up again, though, because all that sounded pretty bleak that we just talked about, right? We've got guys that aren't necessarily happy. It's a frustrated team right now that's only won 2 games and lost to a group of 5 team in Ohio. It's not like USF, some elite team that's would beat most Power 4 teams. It's they're an okay team, But West Virginia should have won that game even in the first year turnaround. So that's that. And then you get your brawl win against Pitt, who has looked pretty good since much better than us since the game. And then outside of that, it's been 3 straight double-digit, devastating losses on the road, and it's been rough for the Mountaineers. So what can you pull from that? Well, obviously the 140 scholarships that's going to allow us to go up to the cap is a big deal, obviously. That means the cap is taken care of, and you don't have to worry about fundraising for it. You didn't spend $5 million of your dollars last year. That rolls over into this year or this next year. So that means if you got $20.5 million to spend, you've actually got $25.5 million to spend, which is more than every team in the country. Unless some other teams save money that we don't know about, maybe they did. I'm finding that hard to believe, though, to be honest. I would bet you that most teams spend all the money because they built good teams in a lot of cases, right? Like if you're on the cusp or precipice, maybe you save $1 million. Maybe you save enough to cover the inflation for the next year, 800,000 or whatever it is. But I mean, at the end of the, 5 is a pretty good number, Jackson, and gives West Virginia a great baseline to start with next year.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There we go. Let's go.
Love that commentary.
Had me thinking of Schoolhouse Rock for a moment.
So outside of that, though, you've got the cap outside the cap, right? You've got NIL above, as Ren Baker calls it, above the cap. So what's that going to look like? Well, think about it like this. If you're at 25 million, let's say football gets 15, or if you're at 20.5, football gets 15 normally. So if you're at 25, does that mean football gets 8? Or I'm not 8, but 18? Do they get 19? What do they get? Are you just going to pour it all in the football? So, and just give everybody what they were going to get with the 20.5, but you give the extra $5 million to football? I think that's what I would do. I know that sounds selfish, but football is just like Ren Baker said, it's the front porch of the university. Football, not just the athletic department, football is. And for West Virginia to really be back, I think we have to do it. I think we have to just put the $5 million into football, because if you win there, it feeds everybody else, right? That's just the way it works. So, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people disagree with this. I would love to hear opinions on this in the comments. So please let me know. Like, share, subscribe, the whole 9. If you do, I keep my job. Okay. So there's obviously that. And then you're working with above the cap deals. And there's several brands, there's several different people, even people like me who give $300, $400, $500, sometimes $1,000 here and there. Doing small NIL deals help towards that number, but obviously don't budget. So if this team can get, to get to that Texas Tech range from this year, you're going to have to get to about 30 million, and you're probably at, let's say they do 3 million instead of the whole 5. That means you're at about 18 million. That means you need about 12 more to get to where Texas Tech was this season. It sounds like a tough road to hoe. That's why I think the full 5 would help quite a bit there, because then you're talking about 10, which is still a lot. But even if you could just get close to that, let's say you get to 26, 27, you're going to be right there with everybody else. I think West Virginia as a program, because we've been depleted for so long, I think we need that to happen. I do. I think we do. And that way, if these guys do leave, we can go out and say, okay, well, we're going to do Indiana. We're going to go get the very best transfers available, period. That's it. So just my thoughts on it. Let's go to one more quick break, and then after the break, we'll spend 10 minutes on Jackson's World of College Football after the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia gonna be brought to you by Square College. And when it comes to Square College, your favorite neighborhoods run on Square. There are certain businesses that make the neighborhood the neighborhood. These are the places that become an extension of home, Whether it's a sports bar dedicated to your team's fan base, the spot with the best wings in town for game day, or that beloved local chain that's been rooted in your community for years, these businesses are what bring people together. When the neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives, Doodlehead. Sports are something that brings sports together, neighborhoods together. Whether it's gathering the game day rituals, celebrating the best wings in town, or just being a part of the fan base that calls this place home, it's all good in the neighborhood. And Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. Go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did with Square. See you in the neighborhood. And of course, and always remembering our good friends at FanDuel. That's right, it's FanDuel time. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 that'll make you holler and get $300 in bonus bets. That's if you win that first $5 bet. That's right, pick a bet, put down $5, and if your bet hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Any interesting stories about FanDuel that you have, Jackson? I think I have one. One time I was on a parlay and I actually hit it. I've never hit a parlay before. I actually made a few $100 on it. First time I ever did it. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's segment 3.
Crack
Jackson
open
Johnson.
a dude, but in this case, I cracked open a Coca-Cola for this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine with me. Jackson, take us around your world of college football, brother.
Well, at the moment, I've got Michigan, USC
Big 12.
on my phone.
We got to start in the Big 12.
There we go.
Sorry.
Well, oh, it's okay. I've got one of the Big 12 games on my desktop that I'm currently on right now. Texas Tech is on halftime as Texas Tech is winning 21-17. They were dominating Kansas in the first quarter, but Kansas is bouncing back, and Jalen Daniels and company are getting serious as they score 17 points in the second half. BYU Arizona is going through a weather delay, but BYU is winning 14-7 against the Arizona Wildcats. Later tonight will be Big 12 After Dark on 10:15 Eastern Time at Rice-Eccles Stadium. That's 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time for those in Utah and Colorado. Can Arizona State win with Jeff Sims?
Oh, Arizona State. I was like, what in the heck? Colorado won another game today.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, Colorado winning their first conference game for 2025.
That's 2 4-1 teams. You can slow down a little bit, buddy.
Oh, man.
Colorado versus who today?
Colorado versus Iowa State.
That's right. They beat Iowa State. This is the first Saturday I haven't got to watch college football in a long time. So, like, I'm learning these results as we go right now.
I am so sorry you missed on so much, good buddy. You missed on a whole lot today.
I know, but I had some things I had to do.
But on the bright side, a rival who does not consider you a rival lost to Northwestern. I mean, I know that it's not Big 12, but still, though, it's fun to see Penn State losing.
I agree, and we'll get there in just a minute. What other Big 12 games have we got?
Let's see. So there's 3 more. Central Florida, Cincinnati. Cincinnati is showing everybody.
Are they mollywopping them?
Oh, they mollywopped Central Florida in the first half, but in the second half, they kind of went a little easy.
20-11.
Yep. And next Saturday, friends, you're going to be seeing West Virginia, Central Florida on TNT. We know drama.
Yeah. That's going to be an odd game for West Virginia.
Well, I think, unfortunately, somebody's going to know drama in that game. But on the bright side, there's no ties in the world of college football since 1995 in bowl season. Although, technically, since 1996. Oh, man. And Houston ate up Oklahoma State like a chicken nugget with a 39-17 victory. I mean, Connor Wegman, my God, he had 306 passing yards, 21 of 30 completed passes, and 2 touchdowns. Connors had a pretty good day with 15 carries and 83 yards and 1 touchdown. Amir Thomas had a great day as well. as he had 157 receiving yards and 7 receptions. Oh, man.
Looks like Oklahoma State scored first, and then it was all Houston after that.
Oklahoma State, I think they're just waiting for 2025 to be over with.
Right.
It's like, good grief. It's terrible for them. But
yeah, I mean, it's rough for them. I'm shocked that they're so bad.
Well,
I thought, what's crazy is like, just because it's Mike Gundy, like I picked them to be in the top 2 or 3 this year. Just figured they would be, because Gundy in the offseason had accepted NIL, right?
Right.
He said he was going to invest and accept that. And I guess it's just too little too late, right? They should have done it before the Ollie Gordon team that they had.
Yep.
And he had a couple teams that were probably capable of going to the national championship game. And they one year they got kind of screwed but they've had some really close calls with that 2020, is it 21 or 22 team was really good, Jackson?
I believe you're talking about 2021.
Yeah, the 2021 team. Really good team. I mean, they absolutely came to West Virginia and destroyed us, man. I went to that game, and you guys got to know it's like almost a 5-hour trip for me to go to games. So it's, I wish I could be at more because, like, I can't tell you how many people have asked for my autograph and stuff here in the last probably 6 months to, come to the game and get an autograph. And I'm like, can I just mail it to you? Because I'm really not a celebrity at all, So anyways, but people ask. It's awkward for me, but I will do it if somebody wants it.
Oh, there we go.
I know Coos is in the
chat.
Yeah, Coos is in the chat.
Yeah, like shout out to Coos. Like his original Ets account got hacked. Let's help our friend Coos get his original Ets account back. Let's help him get it all back.
Right.
So if you fall, but if you want to give Coos a follow, his current account, it's at Coos' Corner. That's
true. It's at Coos' Corner on X. Make sure you guys go and sign up to his new one. Definitely a shady situation there, and when you got to think, guys, he's got literally years into that, and it's not like he has personal opinions on there, but I would say it's shaded 97% to 3%. Like, 97% was used for his side job, which is this, and not that he doesn't put a lot of work into it. I'm just saying he has a full-time job and he does this. But when he was on social media, it was to elevate his platform that he has. And a lot of times he went live on X, which gave him, almost 7,000 people extra to broadcast to. So you lose that. It's a big loss. You can't replace that. You can, but you're never going to get that same group of people back. Right. So it's a frustration for sure. I wish Coos the best on getting them back. Hopefully it makes you scared when you're in this space, though, is what I was going to say, because it can happen to any of us. This is such it's really a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Easy to lose, I guess, than what you really think it is. So that's why two-factor authenticity, however you say it, authentication is a good thing, and other things like that. So,
wow. If he needs help finding some of the followers that were following him, or some of the people he was following in his original Eds account, I'm here. I can find them for him. All righty. So Kansas State rebounded nicely over that devastating loss over the Baylor Bear Necessities. So what they do? They beat TCU in a 41-28 fashion. Oof. Josh Hoover, close, but no cigar.
What's the final score there?
41-28 Kansas State.
That's I don't want to say shocking one, but based on how K-State's played this year, it's weird, Just when you think TCU's legitimate.
Oh man.
So what did What was K-State's numbers in that game?
Oh, they had not that very many with Avery Johnson, where he had 198 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 16 of 26 completed passes. Joe Jackson had 27 carries, 110 rushing yards. And oh my God, let's look at it. Let's look at the third down efficiency. Oh, well, there's a key right there. 2 of 2 fourth downs. Of course, you got the fourth downs. 7 of 16 completed third downs. Oh, man. Like TCU outgained Kansas State by 105 rushing, 105 total yards on offense.
That's wild.
Yeah, TCU had 448 total yards. Kansas State had 343 total yards. And they still couldn't get the job done. Hoover was throwing 2 picks, which explains why they lost. I mean, like 3 turnovers. Like, oh my God, that's horrible for TCU. Like you said, just when you think they're for real, they're not. Like, how depressing is that for TCU? But it just feels like, as of right now, it's going to get wider. If we see BYU losing to Arizona tonight, and we see Utah beating Arizona State, and possibly Kansas upsetting Texas Tech, it just tells us the Big 12 is going to get more wide open as the weeks go by.
Yeah. Right.
Ooh.
Well, if what Kuz just said is true, I'm mad. Like if that's the case, I don't doubt that it is. I just hadn't gotten confirmation yet. If you can't use the $5 million,
Oof.
I mean, what's the advantage? I'm somebody. Please explain that to me. Like I'm 5.
Oof. Good grief.
That's insanity to me. There has to be a good reason. We just have to trust them. There has to be a way you can finagle it we don't know about. It's just there has to be. They wouldn't have done it. If it's use it or lose it, then you lose it. So there has to be something. Now, the cap does increase by $5 million, or I mean, not $5 million, 4%, 4 or 5%, which is like $800K, but I don't even think it counts unless because you don't really, I think they reevaluate it every 2 or 3 years. So I don't know. Like, that's probably if it comes out that we just lost it and we could have had a full new offensive line, we could have paid just $5 million for or whatever. Obviously, you don't even need that much. I mean, I've done the math. You can get a close to elite offensive line, which we came in late in the game, and I get that. But you can get basically a fully. You know what I'm thinking about? Because there was that, and this is just a guess, and I'm going to ask Matt Wells about this because I have his number. I don't text him often. He's assistant athletic director. I don't text him often at all, ever. Only once or twice, and I've had it for years. I may text him on this one about it because I just need to know. That'd be crazy if it was him saying, "Don't text me."
Oh man.
I'm telling you, some people watch this show. So there was a period of time where it was basically the Wild West after the settlement was passed, where they could front load all the money and it didn't count against the cap. And I'm just wondering if that money, since it didn't count against the cap, don't count against the cap, right? In other words, you pay players for next year, this year, that are on the roster because it don't count against the cap. So before this cap year is over, you set up some deals with them and say, "Hey, look, we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling now. Are you going to stay around? Yes, no. and you just use that $5 million to keep your roster intact or however many people you need, because it don't count against this cap this year. Would be my guess. I don't know. That would be the only way I could think you could finagle it. But this is total guesswork. So, yeah. Did we go through all the Big 12 games?
Yes, we did. All the Big 12 games.
Okay. Takeaways from that?
It's just whoever wins the Big 12 is obviously getting into playoffs, but will the runner up get an at-large spot? That's going to be the question there. But it's panic time for Iowa State because they better win out in order to get to the Big 12 title.
Well, it's looking more and more like BYU, Texas Tech, possibly, or maybe Arizona State. I don't know, but I think it's time. I want to watch that I want to watch the rest of these games today. But yeah, Kansas State's looking better as the season goes. That's not a shock. I'm not surprised to see them get better. Houston continues to be really a much better team than in year 2 than year 1. Their schedule lined up perfect for them. BYU is leading 14-7 right now, but who knows, what that game will look like because of this delay. This really makes it iffy for them. Texas Tech is obviously a big game happening right now. Those are both really good football teams. That's going to decide a lot. And then, Iowa State losing is a big deal. Colorado, big win for them. But it looks like there may be only 2 or 3 teams in this league that are only good rather than 5 or 6 like we thought, Jackson.
Unfortunately, you are right in that case with the Big 12 because it's looking that we're heading down that road.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you follow Jackson at the Voice of College Football, Alabama side. He does elite work over there. Jacksonian, obviously, great job he does there. He also calls in to find Paul Feinbaum. He's also here on Locked On West Virginia weekly now with Jackson's World of College Football. And he's also the offensive coordinator at Marshall, Clemson, South Carolina, and where else was it? Auburn. Auburn, that's right. Those are the places. So we thank you so much for being here, bro. Every time you always say yes, it means a lot. It gives my voice a rest because I do a lot of this. So I appreciate you, man.
Happy to always hang with you. Goodbye.
You too, man. I think I'm done. I don't have much else to say. Anything else you want to say, Jackson?
Well, I'd like to say check out what I'm doing on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. Check me out on the Jacksonian, Alabama, and Jacksonville CFP on @/Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Jackson Johnson 543-908. And, of course, as always, check out Mountaineer Paul on Locked On West Virginia, where he covers your West Virginia Mountaineers, your team, every day.
And I think that's a good way to get out of here. Guys, make sure you like the video before you go. Subscribe if you're new around here. And don't forget, Locked On Big 12, elite stuff with Drake Toll. He's one of the best in the business at this point in time. He's elite with views for a reason. And so for your second listen, I would highly suggest checking him out as he breaks down the most exciting conference in college sports, from the rivalries to the championship game and everything in between. Find Locked On Big 12 on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Jackson, your team.
Every day.
Every day. Thanks, guys, for being here. For Jackson, for me, he's an Alabama fan. I'm a West Virginia fan. So we'll run out of here saying, roll damn Tide and cue them country roads. Wookie noises.